Hey Polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, I am finally sharing the fall collection from Orly for 2024. This is called Terra Nova. As usual, it is a 6-piece collection and they always come with a card that details each polish as well as gives some tutorial suggestions on what to do with the colors and some nail art. And they come with 2 of their freebies that always come in the Color Pass subscription box. I've now had the Orly Color Pass subscription box for about 3 years, I think. And oftentimes, lately anyways, it has been either a polish or a top coat or base coat or something along those lines, and then a set of stickers. In years past, there have been other bonus items such as claw clips and keychains, and those are the 2 unusual ones that I can think of. So yeah, for this season's collection, we have 6 fall colors. This is a really nice color palette and the formulas are fantastic. So as you can see, we have 6 different colors starting with a dark shade of purple, going into a shimmer that is gilded dune, and another shimmer with rustic root. So my specialty finish living heart really liked the fact that we got 2 shimmers in this collection, and then as we go I'll show you these swatched, and then at the end we're going to take a look at some polishes in an attempt to dupe the collection and see if I can do that with my current collection. Before we get started, let's go ahead and talk briefly about what is on my nails. On my left hand is a magnetic from Colorista Carol. This one is Bougie Babe, and this one is a stunning polish. I've been wearing both of these magnetics for a couple of days and I have been in love with both of them. Absolutely gorgeous. This one is kind of a darkened base that has a large particled shimmer or microflake, and it also has some larger flakes as well. And then the magnetic pull goes from purple to blue to fuchsia. It has a lot of different colors. It is stunning. And then on my right hand is a polish from BaronessX called Dawn of the Wind, another stunning magnetic. Both of these colors just seem to have rainbows in them. We have the red shimmer and then a like bright green in the magnetic, at least right on the face, but that shifts as well. So I'm seeing purple in it. When I'm looking straight on my nails, I'm seeing purple, green, red, black. It is absolutely gorgeous. Love both of those. So let's go ahead and jump into the Terra Nova collection. The first things we're going to look at are those bonus items. So this time we got a set of nail stickers or decals. These are in sort of a southwestern pattern. We have some blues, pinks, and oranges, and a little bit of purple down there to sort of pull in the colors from the collection. There's also some white, so you're going to have those show up quite nicely against the colors from the collection. And then the second item is their One Night Stand Peel Off Base Coat. I think I do already have another bottle of this lying around. I actually have yet to try it. I have tried a peel off base coat from other brands, so I'm excited to maybe try this upcoming season. On to the collection. The first color we're going to look at is the dark purple. This one is called Starlit Shale, and it is a deep but somehow vibrant shade of purple. This is one of their creams. This is it in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. I really like this shade for fall. It is a rich color, kind of like a deepened jewel tone. It's still got a slight vibrancy to it, but it's definitely not a bright purple like you would wear for summer. And the formulation on this was really nice in just the 2 coats. So that first color in the collection was Starlit Shale. Next up is the berry shade. This one is called Bedrock Bloom, and this one is a deep berry shade in a cream. I feel like on the swatch preview on their little card, it seems like it's going to run a little bit on the red side, but to my eyes, this is strictly in the berry family. I personally don't see much red in it, which I wouldn't have minded seeing, but to my eyes, it is mostly a berry. This is another great 2-coater. This is 2 coats with a glossy top coat. This is a really nice shade as well. I like the berry tone to this one. I think it's a good berry option for the fall season. This is another tone where they managed to have a vibrancy to it while still falling into the fall season. So that second color was Bedrock Bloom. Next up is the orange. This one is called Earth Fire, and this one is a deep earthy orange, although I wouldn't quite call this a clay or a terracotta. It still somehow got a pinch of a vibrancy. Again, that seems to be sort of our theme, fall, but a pinch bright. And this one is another one of their creams. This is another of the 2-coat formulas with a glossy top coat. This also, like I mentioned, falls into the same category of colors where it manages to be vibrant yet still fall appropriate in the color families, similarly to those first two that we looked at. So that orange was Earth Fire. Then for our yellow, this is one of these specialty finishes, and this one is called Gilded Dune. You guys, this one actually impressed me, which is saying a lot because it is the yellow, and if you're a regular on my channel, you'll know that yellows are not necessarily my favorites. However, this is an interesting finish. So the color is more of like a goldenrod yellow or a dune yellow, and then it has a green shimmer. The formulation on this was also really, really impressive. This one I just needed one coat, you guys. One coat. Full coverage on this nail swatch, which is really impressive, especially for a yellow. This is one of those colors where I definitely could see myself wearing this for the fall season. In fact, it's probably going on my seasonal fall rack. And like I said, that is saying something coming from me. But I will say that the shimmer isn't like a massive component on this one coat, but you can see it on there. It might not be super noticeable, but it does add a little bit of a glimmer to the nail. And you can see that it is a different finish from the creams next to it. So the golden yellow of the collection was Gilded Dune. Next up is the turquoise. This one is called Sky Stone, and this one is a really beautiful southwesterny turquoise color in a cream. Turquoise is one of my favorite semi-precious gemstones, so I was excited to see this in the collection. This one I will say had a different formula from the other creams. This one on the first coat seemed to be a little bit more on the squishy side, more on the, let's say, crelly side of things. However, 2 coats did provide me with full coverage. So what I've been saying about the other colors can also apply to this one. They somehow managed to create a color that is vibrant yet still fall appropriate. So that one was Sky Stone. And then the last polish in the collection is another shimmer, and this one is called Rustic Root. This, spoiler, is one of my favorites from the collection. This is a rusty orangey red. It is quite beautiful. It's another impressive formula as well. This one I only needed one coat. Yes, one coat for full coverage. So as you can see, in this rusty orangey red base, it has a golden shimmer. So here it is in that one coat with a glossy top coat. You guys, like I said, super, super impressed with this one. The color on this is just beautiful. This is just right up my alley in every way. This is another that is going to be going right up onto my fall seasonal rack. As simple as this combination is, it seems still to be unique to my collection, which is nice. That's often hard to do with these more simplistic combinations, but a beautiful one coater. So that last color in the collection was Rustic Root. All right, so that was the Orly's Terra Nova collection for fall 2024. What did you think of it? The color palette I thought was really nice. I will say a number of these though did remind me of other polishes. So now comes the part where we're going to see if we can dupe this from my collection. And here are the colors that I pulled. As you can see, we at least matched quite nicely into the vibe. I will say that right off the bat. And all of these from Orly. So the first one that I thought of for that dark purple was on the edge. Actually, the very first one that I thought of was Synthetic Symphony, but Synthetic Symphony was obviously much, much brighter. So here's Starlit Shale on the left with On the Edge on the right. As you can see, there is a difference. Starlit Shale is a little bit more muted while still being a vibrant purple. By comparison, On the Edge, which is on the right, has more of a vibrant blue lean to it. And here they are on the nail. On the top is Starlit Shale, on the bottom is On the Edge. I hope on your screen these colors are going to be coming up a little bit more than they are on my screen as I'm filming. While they're close, they definitely aren't dupes. Again, the same differences that I was pointing out in the bottle show up here on the swatch. You have more of a creamy finish in Starlit Shale, whereas by comparison On the Edge has a squishier formula, and you can see there, hopefully, more of that blue comes through on the swatch. Then for Bedrock Bloom, it immediately made me think of String of Hearts. This is, I think, one of the freebies that came in one of the ColourPass boxes last year or maybe the year before. So here they are in the bottle for a comparison. On the left is Bedrock Bloom, on the right is String of Hearts. So in this instance, we do have some similarities, but also some differences. Bedrock Bloom is a bit of a deeper toned down color. By comparison, String of Hearts is a shade or two lighter and more vibrant. There's less of a dark quality to it compared to what is in Bedrock Bloom on the left. I will say though, once they're swatched, they're a little bit closer than they were in the bottle, although I do feel like my camera is picking up all the differences, so hopefully on your screen you can see the differences as well. In person, they are closer, but again, on the top we have Bedrock Bloom, on the bottom we have String of Hearts, and by comparison, now that we're showing it with a brighter pink, now I'm seeing that red tone in Bedrock Bloom, just by comparison. Like I said, to my eyes, that still falls into the berry category, but when you compare it to that brighter tone of String of Hearts, it does start to lean a little bit redder. And then here on the nails, you can also see that String of Hearts is a pinch lighter. It has more white in that base. Then on to Earth Fire, our orange. Now, initially what I was thinking was Lion's Ear. Lion's Ear, though, was much lighter. So here is Lion's Ear on the left, Earth Fire on the right. Not even worth swatching, so I immediately scrapped that idea. But as I was going through my collection, I discovered that I had Bird of Paradise, which I think might have been a summer collection, that was pretty close in tone. So here they are. On the left is Earthfire, on the right is Bird of Paradise. Again, we are dealing with some subtle differences, but they are pretty close. So Earthfire has more of a dusty quality to it, whereas by comparison, Bird of Paradise is a pinch brighter, but they are definitely close. And here they are on the swatch. So on the top is Earthfire, on the bottom is Bird of Paradise. And here again, you can see that they are in the same color family. They definitely give a similar vibe, but by comparison, Earthfire has that deeper, earthier quality to it, a pinch of a dustiness compared to Bird of Paradise there on the bottom, which still maintains a pinch more vibrancy. Then on to one of the harder ones. These shimmer polishes, both of them, were very hard to attempt to dupe, but I could get at least close in tone. So for Gilded Dune, I picked Claim to Fame. That is sort of a bright yellow. Now, obviously, it's not going to have the shimmer component, but I think the other yellow that I had that did have a shimmer component wasn't even close to this tone of Gilded Dune. So here we have Gilded Dune on the left, with Claim to Fame on the right. These are pretty far from each other. At the same time, they are still both in a similar color family to each other. So even though I wasn't able to match the shimmer, I think you could get a similar vibe on your nail if you just wanted to wear Claim to Fame in a cream. And then here they are on the nail, Gilded Dune on the top, Claim to Fame on the bottom. Again, definitely not dupes because Gilded Dune is that more of a golden rod hue, and of course it has that subtle green glow. And then of course by comparison, Claim to Fame is that brighter shade of a yellow and no shimmer. Then onto our turquoise. So when I saw that, as a turquoise fan, I knew I had something at least close in my collection. And the one that I pulled is in Full Plume. I believe this came from another fall collection, I think. I could be mistaken. So here they are in the bottle, Skystone on the left, in Full Plume on the right. So they are definitely different. In Full Plume is a couple of shades darker, and it has a pinch more of a green quality to it, where by comparison, Skystone has more white in the base and leans a little bit bluer by comparison. Here they are on the swatch sticks. On the top is Skystone, on the bottom is In Full Plume. There you can definitely tell that difference in tone. And we have, for a change, a darker color in the comparison, whereas Skystone is our brighter one this time around. But I do think they are pretty close. Not quite dupes, but close. Then last but not least, when I was trying to find something close to rustic root, the closest I could find was another cream, and this one is called Velvet Ribbon. I think this was another fall collection, I think. But again, I couldn't find something that had a shimmer quality in this color range in my Orlys, but here they are. They again are kind of close. They'll at least give you a similar vibe. Both of these are a rusty shade of somewhere in between a red and an orange. Now, of course, Rustic Root has that golden shimmer to it, whereas Velvet Ribbon is a cream. But here they are on the nail. As you can see, they're going to give a pretty similar vibe. You do have that subtle shimmer in that one coat of Rustic Root, but you do still get a really beautiful rusty coloration in Velvet Ribbon. I love both colors. So there we have it. Those were the colors down on the bottom swatch ring that I was able to pull from my collection to try and attempt to dupe the Terra Nova collection. Let me know what you thought, or if you have any in your collection that you thought would be closer. I was actually pretty happy with how close I was able to get with quite a lot of them, even though, like I said, I don't really think we ended up with straight up dupes on any of them, but I mean, pretty close in vibe, wouldn't you say? So there we have it. That was the Orly Terra Nova collection for fall 2024 and the ones that I pulled for a comparison. Like I said, when I was swatching the collection, this one, Rustic Root, is my favorite, which is really surprising considering it is not the purple of the collection. But this rusty shade of orange is one of my favorites for the fall season, if not just in general. I love this kind of a color on my skin tone, and I like that they added a specialty finish to more than just one polish this time around. So that has got to be my #1 pick from this collection. Although, surprisingly enough, I'm going to go with my second pick as Gilded Dune. A yellow, right? I mean, I'm picking a yellow as my favorite. That is surprising. But again, this is a beautiful tone of a goldenrod color, and that makes a pretty big difference to how I respond to it. And I like this sort of an antiqued color. So I'm excited to try this out. Both of those colors will be going onto my fall seasonal rack. So there we have it. That was the Orly fall collection for 2024. Let me know which ones were your favorites. And as always, hopefully you had a good time hanging out with me and looking at beautiful polish. If you're new, do think about hitting that little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.